that I could paint you with words, but there were no colors bright enough, black or white enough, blue or green enough. It didn't mean enough. You are the star to touch the earth, shine bright for all eyes to see. Radiated, touched me. Now I'm shining like you do. It was dim before I knew you. Bright light for weeping eyes to get used to. Trust who? That's some adjust to.
Spoken word performance by three of Toronto's most prophetic poets. Please welcome Jemeni, True, and Motion.
She, we're talking about she. Try to figure out who she be, who we become, so we can see the majesty. Have to be just me. It's all about she. Try to figure out who we be, who we become, so we can feel the majesty. Just have to be.
Supernatural.
I'm not your superwoman, more like superbly human. Wasn't born with wings, but when necessary I take flight. I will rise above my circumstances just to set things right. Don't look up in the sky amongst the clouds for me. I'm right here on earth, searching a crowd and see how my energy draws people closer. Not really sure why I'm supposed to be a savior to some and a saint to others. Silly me. I had hoped that I'd be rescued by my lovers. Instead, I've saved myself time and time again. And placing me on a pedestal doesn't do much to ease my pain. They call me supernatural, goddess, mother of all. Then they step back, refusing to catch me when I fall. Yeah, black women, yeah, we're miracle workers. But with all our superpowers, how come she can't stop those who hurt her?
She used to write wet kisses in a rhyme book. She used to run the ritual of the crush, the sprinkle, the roll. She was B-girl, born to do this thing that thoughtful folks told her not to do. There's no place for you under booming systems and block-heavy boxes. 2-inch nails can't grow when you're carrying crates. Rolling with the Mondad through pack jams and back doors, man. It was cute when young girls caught their groove on and we were covered down in t-shirts and baggy shorts, battle ready and rebellious, fingers rifle ready to clack, clack, reload. We beat down walls as DJs in concert halls. She'd kill a sound boy, dissect with dialect. Y'all want test, just settle our rest, see? Seeds came through her, babies were born. B-girl laid down her arms and B-woman was born.
Majesty, so them say. So them a call me when my curly locks a swing by. When you rocks the princess, I catch them eye. And I. They must think say my locks are golden. Come like only broke pocket man want to hold them. Because my hair frightened chemical, you think say me kinky. Why me as a majestic sister, the lioness don't concern with common or dinky. Your body lies over the ocean. Your body dies over the sea. If your body lies inside of Cheryl, Sister Patsy, Cousin Susan, and what she be about to be, then your body can lie next to me.
Yes, y'all, and you don't stop. 1, 2, y'all, and you don't stop. Yes, y'all, and you don't stop until the beat comes. The beat is short shot. Come on. I met this girl when I was 10 years old, and what I love most, she had so much soul. She was old school when I was just a shorty.
It was beautifully unexpected, orchestrated, polished, It was, again, like another extension to our pieces. Just added another flavor to what we needed for our work.
Yeah. It's a pretty day, let's go outside and enjoy it. Let's go. If you got something else in mind, then I'm all for it. Yeah, 'cause you know I will take the chance. I'll take it. I will take your hand. I'll take it. Then we'll go there. Go there. Love isn't something that you earned, it's deserve it.
Brown skin lady, yes. Hey, hey, where you going?
This goes to the
Brown skin lady,
yo. Indigenous women of the planet Earth, giving birth to the.
Yeah, the Dalits are considered the blacks of India.
And that's not a positive term.
For them, I think they reclaimed it. I think a lot of reclaiming has been done with the movement that we were working with.
Okay.
So for instance, Jyoti and Raj, the leaders of this movement, they only wear black. So Jyoti only rocks black saris. Very similar to the Black Panthers in a sense that black is not a color that has to be worn at a funeral or when you're in mourning. It's actually a color to celebrate.
And power and strength.
Exactly.
Fantastic.
Is if you look at the flyer, the front of the flyer has the little Dalit girl, and the actual name Dalit means broken person.
And I read untouchables.
Untouchables. So that's the name that they used to call them. People still call them that, but it's not politically correct anymore to really call it untouchables.
Okay.
But it's a Sanskrit word meaning like to crack or to break. And you think about what that has a psyche on the people when you're called something that's broken.
Yeah.
Right? Picking up the pieces, this idea that things have been broken, but they're not just lying on the floor. Like people are doing something about it. You know what I mean? Like the people we met are active.
Which part?
We went to a place called Tumkur, which is in the south of India near the capital city, Bangalore.
Okay.
Of the district that already existed for 25 years, fighting against caste oppression. And they were Dalit people working for Dalit people. And it was a movement that was led by a husband and wife. And so we went down there to document these revolutionaries and this movement that was happening. But at the same time, we also realized that, okay, we have the ability to teach photography.
Sadly ironic is that I have to give you guys at least credit, I would think, the South Asian community, because you guys at least accept and admit that there is a caste system, whether or not people say they follow it or not. But all people of color have a caste system, whether it be self-imposed or otherwise.
Talk about it or haven't talked about it, so we're sort of bringing new knowledge, so it's sort of
a new touchy subject.
Yeah, very new touchy subject. Some people are like, oh, we didn't know that happens, or this happens, or we've heard about it but we didn't know the extent and that sort of thing.
What do you mean by what happens? What happens?
Well, the way the caste system affects people's lives. And I always tell this story. I had an ex-boyfriend, I dated him for quite some time, he was Indian, and he's like, we can't get married, you're a different caste, but we live here. And he was a farmer, and my family's machinist. And I was like, well, you're not going to plow the fields here. What does it matter? Like, but
it did?
It was a huge deal. It was a huge deal.
Was it a huge deal for him or for his family?
For him and his family. It was a big deal for him. He's like, I don't want any half-breed kids.
Oh, wow. So are you, in the caste society, are you a higher rank?
We're in the middle.
You're in the middle. And is he considered lower?
No, he's high.
Oh, he's higher.
He's the top caste.
He's the top caste. How many castes are there, girl?
Well, it depends, right? Because
does it depend on what region you're in?
Region, religion, like there's a whole bunch of different things, right? Because religiously we're not supposed to have caste, but we do. We're Sikhs. We're not supposed to have caste, but we do. So culturally it's just sort of...
So there's the religion, there's the shadism, there's all kinds of layers.
Yes, it's a whole bunch of different stuff.
So what are you hoping to accomplish with this exhibit today?
Tash, what are we hoping to accomplish?
We're trying to do
Are you trying to bring awareness?
Make our people and our communities aware of what is happening. We want to make people aware of the enslavement of people that still exist in India today. And I really come under the philosophy, like, I cannot be here as a brown woman doing work in my communities if I don't make that link to my indigenous self and to people whose blood I have running through my veins. And one of the most important parts is Toronto is seen as a diverse, multicultural city. And the fact that this is the first time that a Dalit exhibit is happening is crazy to me in 2009. So for me, it's way long overdue. Were you born? Why wasn't this done like 10 years ago? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Were you born here?
I was born here, yeah.
And so what is the experience as a first-generation Canadian? You know, with other cultures in the same way, our parents want us to immigrate and integrate, but at the same time, do you think sometimes part of that integration process means to suppress a part of ourselves?
I think it does, but I also think it comes from a colonial education system, because my parents don't have the proper information or education to really give me the knowledge about that.
Right.
And a lot of times people don't get those type of knowledge until they're studying archaeology or history or something in post-secondary education. My parents never went to university. They're like hardworking people. And so they never really had the access or the privilege to be telling me these things. They're in their own country. You're not really fully aware. I mean, even me as a Canadian citizen, will I have all the information to tell my children about First Nations people when they come on Earth?
Good point.
So this is the thing. I just want our babies to know where they come from, you know. Back to India at the end of this year, November and December, to do the second phase of this project. So to get even that much more deeper into the stories and to share in the telling of the stories, we're heading to Colombia in October to work with female child soldiers. So it's only the beginning.
How do you get the funding? How do you get the money to travel around the world?
And Natasha and Rocky's bank account. Thank you so much. This wasn't a 3-person effort. This was like a community, family effort. And that's why it's so personal right now. Everything's so personal. So, how do I start? Okay, I wanted to quit school one day. One day, I said to myself, you know what, I need to take a break from school. I need to do this photography thing seriously. I think I have something here. And then I met Rocky a week later. I was trying to find out more about my history. I'm this brown woman, born in Mississauga, raised in Brampton, lived in Malvern, work in Malvern. Basically, I'm in all these different parts of the city, and there were so many missing parts of my identity. And I wanted to know, okay, yes, I'm Tamil, yes, I'm Sri Lankan, but who are my ancestors? Who are indigenous people? What is all this different blood like running through my veins? Where do I come from? I started to ask myself these questions. And then all of a sudden, a week later, I met Rocky.